Hello guys, welcome to the Thursday forecast. So let's take a look at the market. We did get some nice moves on the euro and the Japanese yen, but the rest of the pairs are looking very range bound. Alright, so let's start with the usual first pair, which is the euro and the US dollar. And what I can see right here is, so we did have this really nice reversal. We had this ascending structure, it was really clean. We had a smaller ascending inside of this larger ascending structure, and then we reversed, got a small pullback, continued. So at this point I was very happy to look for a trade to go short, since I was expecting a nice trend to start down. Usually when we do get this sort of a clean ascending structure like this, we start to heavily trend in the opposite direction. So I was definitely looking for a short trade, but then we got a bit of a warning sign. So we got this aggressive retrace. Well, first we got a large wick and then we got an aggressive retrace. So when I see a large wick and this aggressive retrace, that is a no trade for me. And then I just wait for the break of the low or break of the high. So the high would be, in this case, this first counter trend candle. So this candle did not break the prior candle's low, and as you can see, all the rest of the candles did break the prior candle low. So yeah, at this point I was just waiting for the break of the low or the high, and then we broke the high right here and retraced, signaling to us that we are very likely to be range bound. So currently I am expecting to see a larger range in this area, something like this. And what I would like to see is a nice clean ascending to the upside, and then a reversal, or a nice clean descending structure, and then a reversal to the upside like this, or a large impulse up, and then a clean flag, or maybe a large impulse down, and then also a nice clean flag. If we do get sort of a V pattern, like a V reversal, as you can see this impulse and then we can get this V, I would look for a range and then a push down and then another short trade. So that's about it for the euro US dollar. Let's take a look at the euro and the Japanese yen. So I was in a trade. Let me take it back. At this point what I was seeing a clean descending structure. So one warning sign that I did have is that the prior price action was a range bound and we were getting these huge wicks. So we got huge wicks here, huge wick here, huge wick here, huge wicks here, here, and then right here. And usually when we do get a lot of huge wicks, it tends to signal a range bound market, and I tend to be a bit more careful. But in this case, what I was seeing some cleaner price action right here. So we had this break of this low, then we retraced, so let me mark it out. We broke the low, retraced, then we ranged around. We broke the low, retraced again, broke the low, retraced again, and then we reversed to the upside. And there were two great high probability signs, which were that there was a liquidity area here because we did have a range. So of course there was a liquidity area, and we broke and retraced into the liquidity area. And the second very good sign was that we left a huge wick to a downside and we reversed, which usually signals to us a reversal. When we get a huge wick in one direction, the price action usually tends to reverse in the opposite direction. So then we reversed, we got this nice push up, we broke the high with momentum, we got a good close, we got a bit of a wick, but it was not a concern since the prior price action was signaling to me a high probability trade. As I just said, we were descending, we descended into the lower liquidity area, we got a huge wick to the downside, and we got a nice momentum reversal. So I would say this was a textbook trade for me. I saw actually nothing to be concerned about. The prior price action was a bit choppy, but this looked very good, and I would definitely take this again. So then the next candle did tag me in, and then price continued to the upside, And then at this point I did move my stops between the below the most recent low. That is just how my strategy works. And then I got stopped out for 0.93% win. So very small win, but win nevertheless. And I was really happy taking this trade. This is a really textbook, so if anyone wants to study this reversal, I would say it is a prime example of a clean reversal and a nice descending structure. So definitely look into this trade. Okay, so then what happened? Well, then the price broke the low, retraced, broke the low, retraced, broke the high. We got some momentum, but looks to me that we're just getting a volatility, so V reversal. So what I will be looking for is a range, push up, and then a nice flag to go long. So currently this is looking like crap. This is looking like a descending structure going into an ascending, going into another descending, so signaling further range bound price action. So I would need to see a nice clean ascending and then a reversal down, or a nice clean descending and then a reversal to the upside. Basically I would need to see some clean price action that would negate and move away from this choppy, crappy current price action, or a large impulse up. That would be the best option, to be honest, to get a large impulse up or down. And yeah, one thing I can note is when we do range for a long time like this, we usually start a nice trend up or a nice trend down. So I would say be alert. I would say next week we may start getting some nice pushes, maybe even today or tomorrow, but I would say next week I would definitely be alert. So now for the Aussie pairs, we have the Aussie US dollar. There was an opportunity to enter right here. So maybe some people were seeing this impulse and they saw this large momentum and they thought to themselves, this looked very, very good. But for me personally, I wanted to see what will happen at the end of the impulse. And what happened is we got a huge wick and we got an aggressive retrace. So when I saw a huge wick and this aggressive retrace, that was definitely a no trade for me. I was not looking for absolutely any trades. What I was looking for is what will happen after we break the low or after we break the high. And currently, as I can see, we are still stuck in this range. We still haven't broken the low or the high. I would expect more range bound price action. What I would like to see is, I would really like to see for the price to move away to the upside or to the downside, get a nice large push, and then I would look for a nice clean flag or any other continuation pattern. Also, what is important to note, we are forming these liquidity areas above and below. So we need to see what happens, how the price breaks into these liquidity areas. Do we just break and retrace, or do we actually maybe get a nice reversal? Also can happen to the downside. We can get a descending and then reverse to the upside. That would be very clean. Or as I said, we can just break and retrace. So I would say be careful when you look at the high and the low. Just look at how the candles close and do they go far beyond this area and give us a nice continuation pattern, or do they just break and retrace. Very important stuff, because you can get caught in these ranges and you can take a lot of losses which you could have stayed out of. So definitely keep an eye on that. Now for the Aussie and the Japanese yen, this one is looking the worst out of all the pairs. You can see it's heavily range bound. I think I already mentioned it. It is actually giving me nothing. I can't see anything in this pair. And because of that, because the reversals don't really tend to work out on this pair, so what I'm expecting, more range bound price action, and of course I will be sitting on my hands. Since I'm a trend trader, I want to see a large impulse up or a large impulse down, and that's exactly what I can forecast. So the only case where I would look for a trade is if we get a nice large impulse up with some conviction, or a nice large impulse down also with some conviction. I will really be happy to take actually if we push, pullback, and then get another push, get a break and a retest. Same thing to the upside, that would be the highest probability to confirm to me some clean price action. So a push, pullback, another push, break and retest, because this would also signal a trend. For me personally, I classify a trend as an impulse, a pullback, and then another impulse. So I need to see two impulses and a nice small pullback to classify price action as trending. So yeah, that's it for the forecast. This pair looks like crap. Rest of the three pairs look, they look okay, nothing spectacular. Looks like this month has been very, very range bound and we have not gotten a lot of opportunities. But let's see what will happen. That is a part of the game. And I will see you guys in the next forecast, that is tomorrow.